Hey guys, good morning, good morning. How's everybody doing today? If you guys can just give me a quick second to finish setting everything up. But I hope everybody had a good day yesterday. Like always, my name is Jose Najarro. I'm here taking a look at stocks, and I'll take a look at stocks you guys want me to take a look at. So yesterday we had some crazy news. I know I've done a few videos already about it, and I am going to be dropping some more in the next few hours. So definitely guys stay tuned. And again, let's take a quick look at the overall market. But first, let me just log in to my main websites to make sure everything is like it should be. So we're going to do Simply Wall Street. We're going to do Trading View. And we might do Lazy FA. Let me just log in. All right. Give me one final second. So how's everybody doing today? Anybody looking into purchasing any stocks? If you are in my Discord channel, I just recently posted the stocks I bought today. Like always, I'm just a normal person putting a little bit of money every week, trying to grow my portfolio. Luckily, right now it is a little bit over 6 figures, so it's growing slowly but surely. It's growing. So I'm super excited right now. Give me one quick second. All right, I should be good to go. All right, so let me show main screen. All right, guys, so let's start off with the overall market right now. Things seems to be Dow is down about 0.3%. The Nasdaq, right, QQQs are up about 0.3%, and the S&P 500 is up 0.02%. And this is pretty interesting. AMD is actually killing it right now. So AMD is up 3% today. I wonder if there's any recent news. I know I've been talking about AMD in the past. AMD has been beat karma. AMC to $70. Best of luck. But I like AMD a little bit better than AMC, you know? So AMD is up 3.46%. I do believe it has to be, I don't think there's any recent news. Google selects, oh, here we go. Google selects third generation AMD EPYC processor to launch the first Tau VM instances. Maybe that Google Cloud taps AMD for new services. All right, so we have some recent news about AMD. Great news. Another thing, I did see Kramer yesterday kind of shouted out AMD as a buy. Obviously, Kramer is a watcher of this streams because I've been talking about AMD for the past non-stop for the past few months. So let's see what, obviously that's a joke. But I do believe the biggest thing is that what we just saw, right? Is overall the news that Google selects the third generation AMD EPYC processors to launch for them. So that's definitely great news for the overall company. So AMD is up 3.25%. What's going on, Fizz? How's it going? Good morning. Good morning. Happy to have you here again today. Hope you're feeling good again today. And let's see what else do we have. I was just looking at the map. Nvidia's up 1.87%. So we can see semis are doing pretty good. Silenex is up 2.7%. I'm guessing it's just because of the overall AMD correlation that they have right now. Avgo is up 0.94%. So we definitely see some players here. Intel hasn't really made much moves. We see what else? CRM is up 0.45%. Now, we talked about now is up 1.5%. Nothing really crazy happening in the market. D Karma believes Tesla will hit 650 today. D Karma, why do you believe that? It's just overall price movements, or is there any recent news about Tesla that has you that excited? But we can see pretty much the market seems to be pretty much quiet outside the overall tech world. The tech world is what's really moving today. Let's take a quick look at my overall portfolio real quick. What do I have? Anything up big? We have Space up 4%. We have Twilio up 4%. We have Redfin up almost 4%. Unity has been all over the place. Let me, Polly, good morning. Good morning. And any insight on CVAC after their trial 2 report? Is it an attractive price? Thanks for all you do. Now we'll take a quick look at the company's price action and their fundamentals just to share my overall thoughts. But unfortunately, I don't know much information within that market. So I can probably, the most I can help out is just do a quick look at the technicals, see what I see. Again, I could be wrong, and take a quick look at their fundamentals for you now. Again, not advice, but just my overall thoughts. Shopify has, Greystone agrees, Shopify has been a monster. I'm happy I've been adding a little bit, as much as I could, when I can, right? So what else do we have? Unity is up 3%, but this one hasn't really moved much for the past 6 days or so, right? A little bit more. Each of these candles represents almost 3 days. So right now it's still sitting about $99. It's just sitting at these prices. AMD we saw up 3%, Nvidia up 2%. Fastly is another one that hasn't really moved much from this 56 in the past few days. Shopify, holy smokes, I did not know this, Greystone. Shopify almost hitting $1,400 right now. This one is looking pretty, a little overextended, but I am liking it in the long term of things, right? I've been talking about it, how it's been a little bit quiet here, so happy to see this overall movement. Stone, another one, is up 2.1%. So overall the market seems to be pretty intense, pretty good. Only measurable positions right now that are down for me are Tattoo Chef, which is down about 5%. Activision is down another 1.1%. I do believe Activision is starting to look a little bit attractive. I am coming out with the video. It's already scheduled. It's scheduled to be released in about 40 minutes from now, 50 minutes from now. I do believe Activision is looking pretty attractive right now. So let's see what else. Melly might be the next e-commerce I start to look at again, as some other ones start to look overextended. I did purchase my stocks today. I went with Spotify. And if you guys ever want to know, feel free to join the Discord channel. But I just purchased Spotify. What else did I get into? Spotify, Okta, and Roku. Those were the 3 I got this week. Again, small purchases, but I do what I can right now. So let's see, any recent news in the market. I don't think we have anything interesting right now. Just what we saw yesterday, right? The Fed moves up its timeline for rate hikes as inflation rises. I just did a video on that just to share my overall thoughts. We did see Cathie Wood add Roblox during drop, and they also were buying DraftKings recently. So let me take a quick look at Roblox right now. Roblox is up 1%. It saw quite a correction recently in the past 5 days, is down almost 12%. But if we take a look at the long term of things, it's still looking pretty uptrendy. DraftKings is another one I do enjoy right now. It's up 0.42%. It took a nice hit recently. Fabio, what's going on, Fabio? Down 10%, and at its bottom it was down almost 17%. So DraftKings is one that also looks pretty impressive right now. So let's see, anything else? Maybe let's take a quick look at StockTwits. Let's see if anything is trending to catch our eyes. Only thing trending right now is AMD. Pretty impressive, up 3.2%. We have TTD. So Trade Desk, they actually just did a stock split, right? So now it's sitting at $61.34. So after the stock split, everybody is getting excited, and the stock price is up 4%. Not gonna lie, I'm kind of excited about Nvidia's stock split. Regardless how it happens, what happens, right? I'm in for Nvidia for the long term of things, so I'm not gonna purchase the stock just because of the stock split. But there might be some small action happening after it does. Angus, what's going on? How's it going? Hope you're doing good. So we can see Trade Desk, that one's trending after. Wish is down 0.5%. I know some people were interested in Wish. I haven't really done a video on them yet. And like always, guys, if you want me to take a look at any stocks, feel free to post on the comments, and I'll take a look at the fundamentals and technicals and just give my overall opinion. So for sure. All right. So now recommended the first stock. Now I wanted to take a look at CVAC. This seems to be a bio company. So this is definitely not a market I'm too interested in. But regardless, let's take a quick look at the overall price action. So the first thing I'm seeing is this stock has had some bad news, it seems. The stock price took a huge hit. It has lost almost 50% of its value in just a matter of a day. One thing though I would say is right now it's sitting at very strong volumes area. That seems to be a recent IPO. right now, August 20th, August of 2020. And Fizz, take care. Have a good day, and I'll take a quick look at Peloton in a bit. But have a good day, Fizz. So we can see this stock has definitely seen a crazy pullback. This is why I'm personally not a fan of the bio industry or pharmaceutical companies, right? Because they can be super, super volatile. And this is definitely a market I don't really follow. So CureVac, let's take a quick look at their future growth. This company is expected to grow 23.5% on average for the next 3 to 5 years. The real question is how much of this has changed after whatever results came out for the company. They are expected. It seems they haven't really reported any new information on their earnings, so that's something to keep in mind of. But they are positive in cash flow from operations and expected to be positive in cash flow from operations for the future. So analysts do believe strong information about this, right? And Angus, biotech is like a gamble. I would say yes and no, right? Angus, I would say biotech is a gamble to those that don't really understand the product behind it, like myself, right? For me, if I ever purchase the biotech industry, I would definitely consider it a gamble. But there's plenty of analysts that have some form of bio industry or bio knowledge behind them, that they can understand this product and can at least give some insightful foreseeable future or some insightful hypothesis on where this company or where that product is gonna go. For those people, I would say it's definitely not a gamble. Financially, this is a company I would expect to have very strong cash flow, strong balance sheet, and they do. Right now, they have $1.3 billion in cash and short-term investments and almost no debt to their name. What's the market cap of this company? It's about $21.5 billion. And let me take a quick look at ownership. So right now, venture capitals and private equity firms own about 42.3% of this overall company. So it's not even institutions, it's private industries that really own this company. So overall, the company doesn't seem bad right now in forms of what analysts expect for this company. Obviously, the trials and the results can change, could change the overall opinion of analysts and where they project these companies to go. But right now, it's definitely sitting at a strong volume area for sure. So this $45 is what I would consider strong support. Anything after that, I personally would be a bit worried because there's not much volume below that. So you say it is a recent IPO, Moderna's vaccine that showed less than 50% efficiency last night. Morning, Jose. Cloudflare is killing it. Cloudflare is definitely pretty impressive. And Judo, I also bought Spotify today. Nice. So I do believe Spotify is sitting at some attractive levels. And they're doing some pretty cool stuff, right? We saw them innovating. They recently just they purchased Betty Labs to enter the overall live audio market. So that's pretty interesting. I do want to take a quick look at Annie app real quick to see if their platform is showing up here at the moment. So let's see, top apps. Spotify obviously is number one in music, but if you guys have not followed, if you guys don't follow me on Twitter, sometimes I post some cool information there. Give me one quick second. Let me go to my profile. So we can take a look. Nope, that's not Spotify. Spotify, right? They just released Spotify Green Room. So this is by Betty Labs, and this used to be called Locker Room back in the day. They actually just kind of rebranded and gave it Spotify Green Room, which is opening them up to the audio space. And this is being considered a social networking platform. So I want to see if it's making it on its way to the charts. So right now I don't really see it. We see Clubhouse right here, number 30. This would be a competitor to Clubhouse. So at the moment, it's not making the list. But it's something I'm going to be tracking overall. So that's definitely pretty cool to see. So Spotify is one I'm really enjoying. I do believe the live audio market is the audio market as a whole, not just the live, is one that will continue to grow as things progress. So Jose, do you want me to take a look at Cloudflare, or you just want to take a quick look that it's killing it? So Cloudflare, that's Net, right? Yeah, Net has been Net it's insane, right? It's definitely seeing nice uptrend. I do want to say right now it is a bit overextended. Doesn't mean a pullback will happen, just a higher risk. So let's see, biotech, we saw that, and judo. So Pujit, you want to take a quick look at STKL? We can definitely take a look at that. STKL, Sonopa. Sonopa, first, let's take a quick look at the overall company's value. What do you mean, technicals? And but first, let me see some of the other comments. Nah, thank you, Jose. Really appreciate all you do. I appreciate the support. Nah, and if you guys are here, make sure to hit that thumbs up. It really does help with the overall channel. And if there's any way you guys want to support the channel, that's the best way. Fabio, Jose, can you check at Berkshire? We can definitely take a look at Berkshire for sure. What do you want to take a look at for Berkshire? So we can probably look at their holdings and how things have changed, if that's okay. Benjudo still planning to open a position in the semiconductor, not sure between AMKR or AMD. The only one I do know AMD a little bit more than AMKR. I'm not too familiar in judo with AMKR, so maybe we can take a look at that one. But AMD is probably one of my favorite semiconductors right now in form of price valuations. And Angus, we can definitely take a look at VEEV in the future. So after this, so we'll take a look at STKL right now from Pujit. Then we'll take a look at Enjudo's AMKR. We'll take a look at Fabio's Berkshire, and we'll also take a look at Angus's VEEV. And feel free, guys, to post on the comments. So STKL. First, let me try to understand what this company does. So this is Sunplot. What was it? Sunopta. So Sanapta Natural Food Products Organic. So they are a multinational food and mineral company headquarters in Ontario, Canada. So they are traded under the NASDAQ as ticker SNKL. They are a leading company that focuses on natural fruits, ingredient sourcing, organic food, and specialty foods, certified organic food products. Okay, this is definitely a market I can see go up, especially where the overall Angus, appreciate that, right? Thumbs up and subscribe. It helps so much with the overall channel. So we can see this is definitely a pretty small company, right? Who was it that was mentioning this? Pujit, right? Definitely a small market cap, $1.3 billion. Right now, from its 52-week high closing, the stock has seen quite a correction. It's down 22.34. If we took a look at its technicals, it's not overextended. It's sitting next to a short-term and long-term moving average, and definitely at a nice volume area right here in about $12.30. So again, this doesn't prevent me from buying or selling. It just deters me on. It just tells me how much should I buy. If I was bullish in this company based on, I believe there's not a good portion of the risk has been eliminated. So right now I wouldn't mind opening up, I want to say a medium-sized position. So if we take a look at fundamentals for this company, like we saw, this is a Canadian-based company, but they are traded under the NASDAQ. Future growth. This company is not expected to grow much, 5.6% on average for the next 3 to 5 years. So it is a slow grower. For something like this, I wish they would have had stronger cash earnings, but they are positive in cash flow from operations. So they are positive, they have positive in cash flow from operations for sure. So that's somewhat profitable, positive. If we take a look at their financial health, they have about $165 million in inventory. Since they are, I want to say, since they are a food-based company, most of their cash is actually turned around as inventory, and that cash flow turns as they buy inventory, they sell it, that builds up cash, then they buy more inventory. So normally they don't have cash and a big cash position. They normally have high inventories. They do have a portion of debt. Unfortunately, Pujit, based on, and my apologies if I am butchering that name, if this isn't a stock I would like having in my portfolio. Not much future growth right now based on analyst expectations, but we can see they are kind of focusing in the organic group. Maybe analysts are just being conservative on the type of growth. They do have positive in cash flow from operations, so that's pretty cool. Their balance sheet, I wish they had a little bit stronger balance sheet in my opinion. Some good things we did see was the overall company's the overall technicals are looking good. Let's maybe take a quick look at their fundamental metrics. This is probably one, maybe EV to EBITDA, forward ratio, or maybe we can take a look at it in cash flow to price. Cash flow to price, because I did see they had a strong cash flow. So this is TKL. And let me take a look at them panel per financial metric. So taking a look at EV to EBITDA forward, this is higher than it's been in the past. Right, we can see in early 2020 it was a lot cheaper if we take a look at EV to EBITDA forward, and if we take a look at price to free cash flow ratio, it is also a little bit expensive compared to where it's been in the past. So valuation metrics are showing that, hey, it might be a bit overvalued. Again, that doesn't mean it's a bad investment. It just means that, hey, there's an added risk. Fabio, Berkshire, is their business prepared to benefit from rising interest rates? Well, Berkshire, right, they do, in forms of private ownerships, they do own a good portion of insurance companies, right? They own a good portion of insurance companies. I do believe they own good portions of like stores and stuff like that. So the insurance companies, for sure, I could see them seeing a better rise of interest rates. We can also take a quick look at their portfolio, Fabio, to see if what kind of positions they hold, and do those positions go up with the overall interest rate. So we'll take a look at that. But let's see first, did I miss anybody? So thoughts. Okay, Fabio, you're actually next. So let's take a look at Berkshire, and here I'm gonna use this website. I don't use too much, but it's called Well Wisdom, and here we can take a look at Berkshire. Is this it? Nope. Berkshire Berkshire Hathaways. So I want to take a quick look at their positions and how they are looking. So right now, in forms of holdings, their number one position is Apple. 43.61% on is their it holds about 40% of their overall portfolio. Then they also have some banks, right? They have Bank of America owns about it's about 15% of their portfolio. So anything here in finance, we have Bank of America, we have AXP. Those two are about 22% of this company's portfolio. Finance would definitely do good during interest rates, right? When interest rates are expanding. So about 1/4 of this company's of Berkshire's portfolio is already in finance, and that's not even looking at their smaller positions, right? They have MCO, they have USB as well. So I do want to say at least 25% of this Berkshire's portfolio is in the finance industry. That is an industry that I believe will do well as interest rates go up, right? Because as interest rates goes up, they're going to make more revenue because they're interest rate revenue companies. We have Apple being about 40% of this company's portfolio, of Berkshire's portfolio. This is a tricky one, right? How would Apple do well during higher interest rates? I do believe at the beginning, right? Because when interest rates are just starting to go up, it really means that the economy is just doing so well that they need to kind of cool it down. The economy is heating up. So especially during the first few years or the first year of interest rates, I actually just did a video. It shows that the first year of interest rates increase, you normally see technology really doing well. So Apple, at least in the first year, I do believe can do well as interest rates go up, because it just overall shows that the economy is kind of booming and doing all that. Maybe later on when we start to see a slowdown, that's when things like Apple might do bad. But then they also have consumer staples, right? They have Coca-Cola, and they have KHC, which I believe is Kraft. This is about 12% of their portfolio. This is one that I do believe will do well during high interest rates as well, right? I mean, people are still going to buy Coca-Cola. People are still going to buy the everyday foods. So it does seem like a good portion, Fabio, of Berkshire's portfolio will do well during high interest rates. Now, the real question is, one thing I have been following, I do have a small position, I believe, for Berkshire, or maybe I might have closed out. I've been closing out a little bit by little bit. I don't know if it's completely gone at the moment. But one thing I do want to say about Berkshire is this. The stock price was a bit overextended for sure. John, let me take a quick. You're new to the market. Welcome to the market, John. If you have any questions, feel free to post questions. I'll take a quick look at your question in a bit. Let me just finish my overall thoughts on Berkshire. So Berkshire, one thing I did mention earlier, right? I haven't looked at it recently, but I did mention this stock was a bit overextended. And look, this is what I believe happens when overextension. a higher risk of a pullback. It doesn't mean that the pullback is guaranteed. I just believe the risk of it happening, or the chance of it happening, is higher. So right now it doesn't seem too overextended from its short-term moving average, but it is a bit overextended from its long-term moving average. And we can see historically it tends to kind of really be uptight to those moving averages. So that's something I keep in mind of, something I would put in the back of my mind for sure. But overall, Berkshire definitely has some strong positions, and one that can benefit from the overall interest rates. The real question is how much of it has been priced in already, right, Fabio? So I hope that helped out a bit. And if you definitely, this is a cool website if you want to take a quick look at holdings. Berkshire, we saw their position size and how a big portion of their portfolio is kind of ready for it. So John, you mentioned you're new to stocks. Do you guys know why we're down a couple percent pre-market and just blasted into green? I mean, short-term volatility, John. I do want to say this. Welcome to the market. Short-term volatility, price movements in just a few hours, is it's just noise to some extent, right? Maybe some investors just got excited that, hey, interest rates might not really, even though they expect 2023, it doesn't mean it's gonna happen. It's still under talks, and depending on how inflation goes in the future, there's so much noise that's happening between now and then that volatility really does affect the market. Sometimes you usually see a red pre-market and we blast off to green, or sometimes you even see a green pre-market and blast off to red. So as a long-term investor, John, price movements like that shouldn't really affect your overall investment process, or make sure, maybe if you are a trader, that's different. But I am a long-term investor, and price movements like that is something I don't even keep in mind. I don't keep an eye out for. So what other stocks you guys want to take a look at? I know some. We got in judo. Let's take a quick look at AMKR. And John, feel free to post any other questions you might have about the market. I'll try to give my opinion. I've been doing this for a few years now, and it's definitely been a learning experience for sure. So right now we are taking a look at AMKR. This is by Enjudo. So AMKR stock, we definitely looked at this before, it seems. So this is in the semiconductor product packaging. So they are a semiconductor product packaging and test service provider. The company has been quartered in Arizona. That's where a lot of Biz, you want to take a quick look at Micron. Micron is one I do enjoy. I don't have it in my portfolio, but we'll definitely take a look at it. So Amkor Technology, this is one that provides services, it seems. So it's one of the world's largest provider of outsourced semiconductor packaging design and turns test services. So this is a company that does well no matter what semiconductor does well, right, Anjuro? Because they're pretty much working with the packaging, with the testing, and everything around there. So this is definitely a strong company in forms of market-wise. If we take a look at valuation, at technicals, right now the stock price seems to be a bit overextended from its moving average, both the short term and medium. So I do want to say there is a higher risk of it being a pullback. Again, it's not a guaranteed. Now, if we take a quick look at the overall stock itself, fundamentals, super small market cap, right? $5.7 billion market cap. Future growth, this company is expected to grow 7% on average for the next 3 or 5 years. Not a slow grower, but not a fast grower either. But what are you getting? You're getting a company that's profitable in earnings and one that's positive in cash flow from operations. If you take a look at their financial health, what's another thing you're getting? You're getting a company with $814 million in cash and short-term investments, about $307 million in inventory, and about $1.1 billion in debt. So I do wish their debt was a little bit less, but their balance sheet is not that bad, especially since cash and short-term investments and inventory kind of have a 1-to-1 ratio to debt. Another portion, if they do testing services, I do believe a good portion of their assets are going to be the equipments they own, and that would be here, their physical assets. That's $2.8 billion. Obviously, like I mentioned, their balance sheet, I wish they had less debt, but it's not horrible at the same time. Now, if we take a look at their ownership, individual insiders, this is actually pretty crazy. I've never really seen this, especially in the semiconductor industry. Individual insiders own 43.1%. James Kim and Suzanne Kim, which are both chairman of the board and vice chairman, own about that 38% of the business. That is pretty impressive, if I may be honest. And then this, I'm guessing, it could be another, maybe they might be all related, they all share the same last name, Kim. Then they have John Kim, who owns about 3% of the, almost 4% of the business. So individual insider is very, very bullish in my opinion. Let's take a quick look at the fundamentals of this company. So this is ticker AMKR. So again, here I'm taking a look at EV to EBITDA ratio. Right now, I can see it is a bit overvalued compared to it's been historically in forms of EV to EBITDA and in form of price to free cash flow. So that's the only thing I would that's another thing I would keep in the back of my mind. Both technicals and fundamentals metrics kind of say, hey, it's a little bit overvalued or overextended compared to where it's been in the past. Again, that wouldn't deter me from buying. It would just deter me from buying a big position. At the end of the day, I personally enjoy a little AMD a little bit more than AMKR, especially if we take a look at, for example, valuation metrics, right? Let's take a look. Let's get out AMKR. We can see AMD in forms of EV to EBITDA and in form of price to free cash flow is sitting a lot cheaper compared to where it's been in the past. So in judo, again, that shouldn't deter you from buying. It should just hey, there is a little bit of the risk behind it. But that insider ownership was very, very interesting for sure, and something that is bullish in my opinion. So Angus, you want to take a look at Vive, and then we have Biz, who wants to take a look at Micron Technology. So Biz, first let me take a look at Vive. Is this in the Viva system? In judo, trying to, so sometimes, I mean, sometimes even a small position, hey, get some skin in the game isn't a bad idea. But if you have that self-control that even if the stock price doesn't go up, you're willing to kind of ignore it, that's different, right? So Vive right now, this is Viva System. They are a computer software company. They focus on cloud computing, on pharmaceutical and life science industry application. So they have a nice niche amongst themselves, right? So that's good to see. From its 52-week high closing, the stock price is down about 4%. Hasn't seen quite a pullback recently. It saw quite a pullback, right? It definitely did. It was down almost 25%, but it's kind of gone up since there. If we take a look at the overall technicals, I do want to say it is a bit overextended right now. Again, that doesn't mean it's bad, just there is that added risk. Now, if we take a look at the company's overall fundamentals, if we take a look at future growth, this is expected to grow 16.6% on average. Right, Angus? So a nice growth stock. And guys, while I have you here, make sure to hit that thumbs up. It really does help the overall channel. Another thing we are seeing, it is profitable in earnings and it is positive in cash flow from operations. Those cash flow from operations are actually pretty strong. Look, in the trailing 12 months, they had 1.5, I don't know if you guys can see it, they had $1.5 billion of revenue. They had about $750 million in cash flow from operations. Those are almost 50% margins. This is a company you want to have, for example, in my opinion, during high interest rates, a company that's profitable in earnings, that has positive cash flow from operations. And if we take a look at financial health, $2.2 billion in cash and no debt to their names. This is definitely a company you want to have during talks of higher interest rates. Again, not advised, just my overall opinion. Now let's do a quick look at maybe their fundamentals, at their valuations metrics. Right, Angus? But this one is definitely looking pretty cool. The only thing, like I mentioned, that was kind of scary was their technicals. If we take a look at valuation metrics, maybe we can go a little bit further. Nah, 1 year seems fine. So if we take a look in the past 12 months, their EV to EBITDA forward, a bit cheaper than it was in July and October, but software companies were pretty high at that time. If we take a look at free cash flow, same thing we're seeing here, right? It's cheaper than it's been in the past. There have been some better buying opportunities for sure. And let me take a look at max. What would be the max? So if we take a look, this goes back all the way to 2018. Let's go back 3 years. So if we take a look at since 2018, right now it's at 65. It doesn't seem too overextended to where it's been in the past. Obviously, it's a little bit more, but maybe the company has changed. But we can see it's definitely a lot cheaper than it was post-COVID or during that whole COVID growth movement. So who was this? Angus, this one definitely looks pretty cool. I'm enjoying it a lot. ACG, you watching Scotland versus England tomorrow? Unfortunately, I have some personal stuff I have to deal with the whole day tomorrow that I won't be watching any TV. So Angus, I hope you did enjoy that. Finally, let's take a quick look at Micron Technology. This is gonna be MU. Micron Technologies, I know what they do. They are the providers of memory. They do both DRAM and NAND type memories. They do it for pretty much everything in the world. All type of technology, from vehicles, mobile devices, computers, your TV, everything needs memory. So this is definitely a bullish company in my opinion. At the same time, I don't own it though. If we take a look at price movements, technicals, RightBiz is definitely not overextended right now, and we can see overextension, how that happens. Overextended here. The overextension can happen for multiple days, right? So that's why it doesn't prevent me from buying. It just deters me from buying a big position. The company has definitely seen quite a correction, and now it's not overextended. It's sitting next to a short-term moving average, so that's pretty good. We can see right now, I want to say a strong volume area would be around $76.58. Q, good morning, Q. Hope you're doing good and hope your family's doing well still. If we take a quick look at fundamentals, right? Well, let's take a look at Micron Technology. They have a $92.2 billion market cap, so this is definitely not a small company. Future growth, they're expected to grow 12.5% on average for the next 3 to 5 years. So this is a nice growth to some extent, not super growth, but definitely nice growth. They are profitable in earnings, and they are positive in cash flow from operations. Again, this is a company you would want to have during high interest rates because of this type of fundamentals. We want to make sure they have a strong financial health, and I do believe they do. They have $7.2 billion in cash and about $6.1 billion in debt. Obviously, I wish their balance sheet was a little bit stronger. I wish they had a little bit less debt than that, especially with such a huge amount of cash flow from operations. I do believe what we're going to start seeing, right? Some of these companies like Micron Technologies, they have high cash flow from operations. As talks of higher interest rates begin to speed up, we're going to start seeing some of these companies, and what I want to see is these companies start paying bigger portions of their debt, because some of these senior notes, some of these loans that they have are definitely variable loans. So as interest rates increases, so their interest payments is going to increase. So I want to say maybe in the upcoming quarters, we are going to see some of this debt going down. That's something, if I was a Micron investor, I would want to keep an eye out. Some other things I want to mention about Micron. The overall memory industry is very, very cyclical. Sometimes technology companies tend to overorder, and this is what happens, right? Technology companies overorder in how much memory they need. Then they kind of like, oh man, we kind of overordered, so let's slow down in purchases, and you see a decrease in revenue. This is something that has happened with Micron multiple years. Then they kind of, okay, we haven't ordered memory in some time. It's time for us to order a lot more memory. Eventually what's going to happen is, hey, they kind of peak in memory, and then they go, oh shoot, we kind of over-ordered memory. We kind of slow it down. The great thing is normally that low is still higher than the peak. So overall, that trend is still looking high. Let's take a quick look at some valuation metrics for Micron. Right now, let's get VEEF out of the way. So we can see if we take a look at EV to EBITDA forward ratios, it does seem a little bit expensive compared to some of these metrics. Compared to free cash flow metrics, it is a bit higher. Maybe let's take a look at forward PE ratio instead. Let's take a look at PE ratio for this company that's been very, very right now, forward PE ratio is 14.53. If we take a look, it's a little bit cheaper than where it's been in the past. It's been in the past, but there has been some cheaper days behind itself. So not overvalued, not undervalued at the same time. So who was it? Biz, I hope you enjoyed that for sure. Pinterest doing well. ACG for sure. That one's killing it, right? Pins. Let's see, Pins. Killing it, right? It's definitely had a nice uptrend in the past few days. Elias, what's going on, Elias? Good to see you live, Jose. Good to have you here. Guy, appreciate it. Happy sunny and almost 4% day. Let's hope it is a good day for all of us. It seems pretty good. Wow, Twilio. Twilio is killing it, 8.5%. Another one that I am enjoying. We have Shopify broke 1400 right now. It's up 4.6%. Unity is up 102. Is up 5.7%. Egg is overbooking in memory this year. That's something we do see very often, right? An overbooking in memory, and then we see a slowdown. So that's the major, I want to say one of the major risks with Micron is that performance. Biz, thank you. Still thinking about opening a position, so may hold out for a little while longer. So Biz, right, if you are thinking about opening a position in Micron, personally, let's say I was bullish in the company. Right now, even though it does seem a bit crazy, I might open up with a small position just to get some skin in the game, right? Getting some skin in the game isn't bad, especially if you are here in the United States where it's free trading and it doesn't really cost much if you open up a small position. Now, if you are in a country where you still have to pay fees for entering trade, then yeah, maybe holding up a bit might be a smarter decision. At the end of the day, no advice. We have Nvidia up 4.3%. We have AMD up 4%. We have Fastly up 3.7%. My portfolio is definitely super happy right now. Unfortunately, I don't know how much this will last, but I'm happy to see this. So guys, this is it for my stream. I do have a clubhouse that I'm gonna be presenting in the next at 11 o'clock. If anybody is not in Clubhouse, let me know. I have some invitations. Join my Discord channel. Let me give you guys the information to the Discord channel real quick. Jose Najarro stocks. And you guys can message me if you guys want invitation to Clubhouse. So let me just give you guys Discord group. But I have to go get ready. The Clubhouse starts in about. Elias, thank you. Appreciate the support. It really means a lot. It really does. When you guys support, even a thumbs up means so much, guys. I really appreciate it. Elias, I hope you have a great day, man. You actually just made my day. Just seeing that type of support means so much to me. So guys, if you guys want me to send you that invitation to the Clubhouse, I do believe right now you still need invitations to join. It's kind of annoying to some extent, but it is going to be pretty cool. It's going to be talking about just tips into intro to investing. So if you are new or still want to learn from other investors, join the Discord channel and just message me there that you want a Clubhouse invitation. So guys, have a good day. Let's enjoy the investing while it's green. Take care and see you next time. There should be a video up scheduled in the next 13 minutes as well. So take care, guys.